Good evening, guys. Good evening, Prithvi, Rahul, Sandeep, Shanmuka, Somnath. How are you guys doing? Ashish, Durga Prasad, Harun. Amar wants to know how to crack long passages. Those passages which have 4 to 5 paragraphs. Right. Amar, we'll definitely discuss tips and techniques about how to crack passages. Don't worry, we'll see how to do that. Sandeep says we are doing fine. That's really nice to hear, Sandeep. How about others? How many of you here are very glad that today is Friday? Yes? A lot of you? Srinidhi, Anil. Every day is good, says Nitin. That's really nice, Nitin. Very good. 2 days of rest from classes, says Sandeep. Thank God it's Friday, says Varun. So what plans have you got for this weekend, guys? Let me see how many of you are going to tell only GRE, nothing other than GRE. See, Jagan says preparing for the GRE. Okay. Rahul will watch movie. Srinidhi says only GRE. Give more hours for GRE. Okay, preparing for IELTS exam. Varun has a GRE exam on 10th. How have you prepared, Varun? Nothing special, just relaxing at home. Okay, preparing. Okay. Jehan has the exam on 11th. On December 4th, says Manikanta. Alright, most of you have your GRE exam in this month, maybe in the next week, or some of you have it next month. So how have you prepared for your GRE, guys? Don't worry, Varun, let us see what we can do with the time we have. Manikanta hasn't started yet. Okay, Nitin, you can take the GRE exam any day in a year. Go to the ETS site, okay? Then you can browse and you can book a date for yourself. If you find any difficulty, when you join a program, our experts here will also help you to book a date. If you want to prepare initially and then later on book a date, you can do that as well. The RC portion is difficult, says Jagan. How many of you find reading comprehension to be challenging? Really difficult? Anil is confused about the date. For fall 2015, when should one book the date? Alright, now since I'm getting a lot of questions regarding booking dates, I'll just answer this question. How many of you are going for fall 2015, guys? Jagan, Varun, Prithvi, most of you are going for fall 2015. Nitin, fall 2015 is one admission type. It starts from August in a year. Say fall 2015 admissions are from next year August. So for August 2015 admissions, to get into top colleges, top universities in the US, you have to give your GRE exam by December at least. Okay, if you want to get into other universities, yes, many universities have their deadlines even till April next year. But it is very good if you can take the GRE exam before December so that you will not miss the deadlines of good universities. Okay, so for fall 2015 admissions, if you are planning to get into good universities, give the GRE exam by December. And if you are planning for admissions later on, then you can give the GRE exam in January, in the beginning, in the first 1 or 2 weeks of January. But it is strongly advised to take it before December. Now coming back to reading comprehension section, when we were discussing, many of you told that it is very difficult, and some of you were telling that when we practice, it becomes easy. That's very true. It holds good for all the topics, not only reading comprehension. Any topic, whichever topic you feel you don't feel comfortable, you can definitely make it possible. You can definitely score high in that section when you practice a lot along with some guidance. You just need some assistance, and you will be able to overcome that difficulty. Okay, so what makes reading comprehension very difficult, guys? For fall 2016 or spring 2016, Ravi, you can take the GRE exam by April or May next year. If you take now also it is okay, you can apply later on. Time limit is a major problem with reading comprehension, says Varun. Vocabulary is a problem. Lengthy passages, says Soumya. The answers are, the options, answer choices are very confusing. Less time. Alright. So ideally students should face, would face reading comprehension to be very difficult because of the length of the passage. Okay, and also after reading the passage you might not understand what has been discussed clearly. Okay, before we proceed with the seminar, I just want to tell you how you can use this interface. Okay, guys, this in this interface all of you have been muted, so only the presenter is given the opportunity to speak, but don't worry, this is not going to keep you away from interacting with me. Just use the questions box on the right hand side of the screen. Do you find the questions box? Yes, so use that text box to type in your questions or to respond to my questions. So I'll be able to see them on my screen and I'll answer them. If we discuss something and if you have a doubt in that, I'll answer it immediately. But if your doubt is something else, say for example something like booking a date or in GRE Quant or any other section, then you can raise the question at the end of the seminar. I'll help you out with that. Okay, shall we proceed, guys? My name is Manu Subhandhan. I'm a GRE expert at GREedge. So today we are going to discuss about reading comprehension. How do we overcome all the difficulties which we have? Varun has a GRE exam on November 10th, which is only 3 days away. So many of you have your GRE exam. Like today, you will have it someday. So how will you feel when you should definitely feel comfortable, isn't it? You shouldn't feel scared about any section in the GRE, so that you can definitely score high in your GRE. So one such section is your reading comprehension, which haunts you. Now we are going to overcome that problem. Right? Okay. Now, as you all told me, one big problem with the reading comprehension section is the sentences in reading comprehension are very, very lengthy, and those are very complex sentences. And I'll just share one small straightforward statement about star formation. Okay, this is just one statement. How do you find this statement? Supernova triggered star formation. How do you find this? Isn't it easy, simple sentence, and isn't it very easy for you to retain in your memory? Don't worry about what supernova is. You can just replace it by X. Yes, so X triggered star formation. That's very easy, isn't it? If you have 10 such sentences in making one paragraph, so will you be able to understand that entire passage, that entire paragraph? If you have 10 such small sentences, and if you have 10 such things, will you be able to understand each and every sentence like this? Yes? What happens in your GRE exam is there will be one small sentence like this, and they will add a lot of information to this sentence, to this idea. We call it an idea. So along with this idea, they add a lot of information, additional facts and data, and make it appear very, very long and confusing. So I'll share one more paragraph to you all. Just have a look at this paragraph. Alright, Manan, I've seen your question. I'll answer it at the end of the seminar, don't worry. In fact, you cannot form conclusions like that. Now, how do you find this paragraph, guys? This simple paragraph is also related to star formation. Okay, so it should be slightly lengthier, and it has definitely more than one or two sentences. It is at least not, it does not convey the idea to you straight away. Okay, so if you have such, 5 to 6 such paragraphs in one passage, then it becomes your GRE reading comprehension passage. Okay, so what happens is one idea is taken, and a lot of information is added to that statement, and 5 or 6 such paragraphs are put together and they form a passage. So what you have to do, when you have just one paragraph like this, you become confused. But when you have 4 or 5 paragraphs like this, which adds details to ideas, how do you overcome this? And particularly within the time given. That is a big challenge, you already told me. So another problem is, even after reading the passage completely, you might not understand what has been conveyed in that passage. Okay, so after you read the passage, like while you read the passage, you should also be able to understand what has been conveyed, every line by line, so that it will not help, you won't require the efforts. You need not put those efforts to read the passage again and again. Now, how do we overcome? Now, before we proceed, how do we read passages? Or you can also tell me, what is exactly a passage? Can anyone tell me what is a passage? Information says Prithvi, group of sentences, combination of sentences, Jehan. Okay, collection of sentences, information, it gives information, says Srinidhi, group of words. Okay, a passage represents a group of ideas. Right? Okay, your answers are right. What we call a passage is a flow of ideas. Okay, as I told you, the supernova triggered star formation is an idea, and along with that some additional information is added, additional information is provided, and it becomes a paragraph, and such 5 to 6 such paragraphs are arranged together. Ideally, one paragraph will always convey just one information. It will never convey more than one idea. Okay, so every paragraph conveys just one idea, and your duty is to extract that idea. If there are 5 paragraphs, each paragraph would contain one idea. If you extract one idea from one paragraph, you'll have 5 ideas in total. So all you have to do is, you will have 5 points, you will have to relate them and answer. Is it difficult then? If you are extracting the ideas, you just have 5 simple points on your scrap paper. Okay, you will have to relate and answer it. Yes? So what you have to do is, you have to extract the ideas. Okay, now that is what we are going to discuss in this seminar. How do we extract the ideas from each paragraph, and how do we relate them so that we understand the entire story? So what happens after extracting these ideas is you can then go to the question. You will be able to answer one or two questions that follow. The knowledge that you've gained by reading the passage, you will definitely be able to answer one or two questions correctly. But other questions which you are confused, what you can do is you have 5 points on the scrap paper. You can relate that points and the question. So if the second or the third point is related to the question, you can get back to that particular paragraph, read it quickly, and you can understand it better and answer the question. So you do not read the entire passage again and again whenever you have a new question in front of you. Okay, so that is why extracting the ideas is most important. And in the GRE exam, you will have questions like what is the view of the author, what is the tone of the author, or how would you conclude this passage, or you will be given another idea and you will be asked to relate the passage and the idea. So choose the best possible answer which is most relevant to the passage. So you will have such questions. So you will be able to completely understand the idea when you understand the information given in the passage. When you have these ideas, you will be able to relate and understand the entire story. Okay, Rahul, don't worry, I'll come back to that later. Okay, that is how we have to proceed. Now, shall we learn about how to extract these ideas? I've been telling about extracting ideas makes reading comprehension easy. Okay, how many of you want to know how to extract ideas? Jason, that's a very good question. Rahul, also that's a very good question. Please hold that question. I'll ask you to post your questions once. Kindly tell me your questions, then I'll be very happy to answer them. Okay. Chiranjeevi has a very good question now. What is the difference between main idea and the primary purpose of the passage? Chiranjeevi, main idea of the passage is what has been conveyed in the passage. The purpose of the passage is what the author tries to communicate through the passage. Okay? Now, extracting ideas. As you all told, the one big problem in reading comprehension is long sentences. When you have extremely long sentence, when you complete reading the sentence, you will forget what has been conveyed. So you have to break long sentences. So you break long sentences so that these sentences will be broken down into small parts and you will be able to easily understand them. Okay. Now, how do we break sentences? Shall we see how to do that? Shakib, I'm getting your responses. Don't worry. Right? Before we proceed to discuss this, can anyone tell me what are conjunctions? Joining two sentences, adds two sentences, alright, and or says Srinidhi. Connecting sentences, conjunctions of phrases which join two sentences, says Deepak. Ashish, what is your opinion? Durga Prasad, can you tell me what are conjunctions? Continues the flow of sentences, forming sentences. Alright. So you already have a good understanding of what are conjunctions. Under conjunctions, there are two types, guys. One is coordinating conjunctions. So I've shared the list of conjunctions. You can note down the list of conjunctions now. If you have a paper and pen, kindly note it down. Okay. Now, can anyone tell me what could be coordinating conjunctions? Resembles same flow, says Prithvi. Okay. Which controls. Okay. Any other suggestion? Any other idea? Okay, I'll tell you guys. These conjunctions, they also combine two sentences. All these conjunctions combine two sentences. But what happens in the case of these conjunctions is, these conjunctions connect two sentences, sentence 1 and sentence 2. So in the case of coordinating conjunctions, uh, the sentences are given equal importance. Okay, that is, even without this conjunction, or even without these two sentences getting connected, you will find meanings of these two sentences individually to be proper. Okay, can anyone use these conjunctions and give me an example? There is no electricity, so I am bored. For this to happen, you need to work. uh, Prithvi, that is actually not the right usage. Okay, there is nothing called you are looking so beautiful. It is actually wrong English. It should be you are looking very beautiful. Okay, it is not proper way to use this conjunction. For many years, scientists are fighting over the cure of Ebola virus. Okay, I'll take Tarun's statement today. You have to work hard so you can get good marks. Now you have to work hard so you can get good marks. So these two are the statements. If you have to get good marks, you have to work hard. So these two sentences independently have meaning, isn't it? If someone comes and tells you you have to work hard, you will say yes, okay. Okay, then another person comes to you and tells you you should get a good mark, then also you can say yes. There is no incomplete part. Am I right? That's right, Ravi. Okay, so such conjunctions are called coordinating conjunctions, and there is another set of conjunctions called uh, subordinating conjunctions. I've shared the list of subordinating conjunctions also. That's right, Shanmuka, your answer is right. I've read it. Okay, so these are subordinating conjunctions. Now, after understanding what is coordinating conjunction, you should find it easy to explain this. Who's going to explain me what are subordinating conjunctions? The details of these conjunctions actually are not very important, guys, but you should be able to understand why such conjunctions are used. Okay, so in a passage you should be able to properly locate the right conjunction. Continuation of the first statement. Very good, Vamsi. Helping to coordinate conjunction to make sense. Very good, Manish. Very good. So these conjunctions, what they do is they connect two sentences. So without this conjunction connecting these two sentences, this sentence 1 and sentence 2 will not have any meaning, a proper complete meaning, without getting connected by this conjunction. Okay, so now this is how it is. Can anyone use any of these conjunctions and give me an example? I'll just give you an example. I'll use the conjunction because. I took a taxi because it was raining. Okay, so if I say to someone, okay, I took a taxi, so the person would immediately respond why, or he would ask why, or why not an auto. There would be some response. Okay, uh, it was raining. Okay, so if I just say it was raining, I immediately you would ask what did you do. So these two sentences are not complete without getting connected using this conjunction. Is it clear now? Yes. Krushmita is right, Chiranjeevi is also right. Very good. All your sentences are right, guys. I'm getting all your responses. Very good. Now, apart from conjunctions, one another method for you to break sentences are punctuation marks. So, full stop is very common. So, a sentence ends with a full stop. So, you need not concentrate much on the full stop. So, there are few such other punctuations. So these punctuations just mean an extension of a statement or additional information. When you have a lot of comma, it means that lot of additional information has been provided. So you can avoid such information, like those are just additional information to the idea. Initially I told you that there will be one idea. You will be, the idea will be added a lot of information, and it would be made very huge to appear. It will appear very huge to you all. So this comma, colon, hyphen. So sentences that have such punctuations just add a lot of information to the actual idea. Okay, so you can very well eliminate such parts of the sentence, and you can extract the original idea. So this might be very vague for you now. Shall we see how to apply this in a small paragraph so that you'll understand it better? Now I'll be sharing one small paragraph on your screen. Okay, quickly read the paragraph and tell me the number of sentences in this paragraph. This is a part of a big GRE type essay, guys. Though it is not actually possible for us to crack one big essay in this seminar. I'm just telling you tips. It is all the more important for you to get back, and while you prepare, you have to implement these techniques while you prepare. So only then you will be able to use it very. These techniques will become very friendly for you before you take the GRE exam. Okay, Manan, as I told you, punctuations like semicolon, comma, then colon, words that have, sentences that have these punctuation can be eliminated for time being unless some stress or some focus is given to that part of the sentence. Okay, so you've already started giving me the number of sentences. There are two sentences in this paragraph. Okay, there are two sentences. These two sentences end with a full stop. So using this punctuation, you will be able to identify the number of sentences. There are three sentences, I'm sorry. Okay, there are three sentences in this part, in this paragraph. Now, I've highlighted the three sentences. First one is not bolded in bold format. Second is in bold format. Third is not in bold. So I just want to tell you that these are the three sentences. Are these sentences lengthy, or are these sentences very simple and easy to understand? Simple, say Jagan. Okay. Okay. Now consider these to be appearing on the GRE exam. Okay, like this you'll have, this is just one paragraph of a lengthy passage. Okay, in the GRE exam you will have a lot of other, so many other paragraphs. You will have 5 to 6 such paragraphs. In that case, you might find this sentences to be very lengthy. So now how we should break the sentence and extract ideas is, follow my instructions, guys. Just choose one, select one conjunction per sentence. Okay, you should select one conjunction per sentence. That is, you should give me 3 conjunctions. There are definitely more than 2 or 3 conjunctions per sentence. So you should choose one conjunction which will help you to eliminate the unnecessary part in the statement. That is, eliminate the additional information given in the statement. Okay, Karanjit is right. Varun, just go through the paragraph clearly. Keep in mind the conjunctions that you identify should help you to eliminate the unnecessary part. Okay, so say if you have one conjunction X, the part you eliminate, there should be one part which you can eliminate, one part which you can use, which would be the idea behind the sentence. Manish, that's not right. The second one is not right. The other 2 answers are right actually. Neha, what is the problem? Can you tell me what you did not understand? Yes, Jagan, you're right. Very good, Manish. You've got the right answer. Ravi, just identify one conjunction per sentence which will help you to break the sentence. Yes, Neha, I'm just telling you about how you should break the, just consider this is one passage in your GRE exam. So how do you crack the passage? Like, you have to read the passage first, identify the number of sentence and the conjunction, which will help you to eliminate the additional information. So you will be left only with the ideas. Okay, Manish, very good. Manish got the right answer. I'm sharing the 3 conjunctions, guys. One per statement. Now, for example, take the first statement. In the 19th century, when women began to enter factories, Jules Simon, a French politician, warned. Okay, you can approach this in 2 ways. You can either eliminate this part because it has so many commas that it just means it has a lot of additional information. It is an extended statement. So the sentence that follows the conjunction that. Okay, by doing so, women would give up their femininity. So there are 2 French politicians who are telling us about what will happen if women enter factories. So the idea is even more important than who is telling it. Okay, so in the second statement, let us say Frederick Engels, who, however, he is also another person. He says women would be liberated from social, legal, and economic subordination. So he has his own opinion. Okay, so what is his opinion? Is actual view about women entering into factories is followed by the conjunction. He says, when women enter the factories, it will actually cause the entire female sex to enter into public industry, which may or may not be good for the society. That is his view. Okay, so there are 2 views by 2 different people. Is a core idea of the passage. Like, women are entering into factories, and this situation is commented by 2 people in this field. That is the core idea. So finally, what is concluded? So finally, they both agreed, saying it will definitely transform women's lives. Okay, so initially they had two different opinions, but finally they both agreed there might be some positives, there might be some negatives, but ultimately women, when they go to factories to work, it will finally transform their lives. So the idea is this. Is it clear to all of you now? Is it simple now? Arjun, what is your doubt? Neha, now is it easy for you? Yes, you are right. If we eliminate the conjunction, eliminate the additional information, you will be able to absorb, or you'll be left only with the core idea, the main idea of the passage. Okay? Now, I am going to share one another passage, one another paragraph. So just follow the same step. Let us see how well you've understood the technique. Manish, don't leave this technique. You cracked it very well. So try to apply this technique whenever you learn. Okay. Jay wants to know what is the main idea and the purpose here. Okay. The main idea is what will happen when women enter into factories. So women will be liberated of all the social issues is the main idea. The purpose here is they are just analyzing the pros and cons of women entering into factories. So the situation, the purpose of writing this passage is analysis, and the idea is what will really happen. What is the opinion of people who analyze this. Okay, is it clear now, Jay? Neha, you just try to read this passage and understand the, tell me the number of sentences first. So based on the length of the sentence, identify one or two conjunction per sentence. Okay, this conjunction, the content which precedes the conjunction or the content which comes after the conjunction may be just additional information which has been conveyed to the idea, which has been added to the idea. You can identify it based on the commas or punctuations. You will be able to identify that. Okay, so the additional information you can eliminate and you will be left with the exact information. Now there are two sentences. You're all right. Now the first sentence is very long. Okay, so try to identify two conjunctions in the first sentence and one conjunction in the second sentence. Very good, Neha, that's right. That's one conjunction, very good. Identify another one in the first statement and one in the second statement. Manikanta is also right, Jagan is right, Tarun is also right, Jay is right. Neha, just check the second answer. Very good. Most of you are right. Very good. So these are the conjunctions, and there are three conjunctions. Okay. Are you all able to see that? Now, if you want to understand how this helps you to eliminate the unnecessary or additional information, is you can also try and mentally rearrange the sentences. Okay, so I have tried and rearranged the sentences. I'm not rearranged. I've just separated the additional information given. So in recent change to all volunteer armed forces in United States, armed forces in United States will eventually produce gradual decrease in proportion of women in armed forces. So what will happen? And in a variety of I mean, they have a lot of variety of assignments. Okay, so when women start entering into when women get into armed forces, are they being treated well, or are they being given proper importance? Is what is being discussed. Okay, so is it clear now? Are you able to understand the passage? Now I'll just share one question on your screen. Yes, Ravi, you're right. These are conjunctions, coordinating conjunctions. I'll share one question that follows this passage. Okay. The main idea here, can anyone tell me the main idea here? Jahan, try to identify the main idea. If you're wrong, I'll correct it. Manikanda and Neha, you have a right approach, but I just want to tell you, don't get carried away when the terms used in the passage are also used in the option. Okay, read the first option again. I'll do one thing. I'll share the passage and the question. Maybe you will be able to refer it now. Refer to it and then tell me what is the answer. Is option 1 the right option? When women enter armed forces, when the number of women in armed forces increase, will it help women? Will it bring dramatic gains for women? Has it been told in the passage? Read the fourth line of the passage. Very good, Neha, you're right. Prithvi is also right. So it has clearly been told that it does not bring dramatic gains for women. Okay, so now we have understood that the first option is wrong. Now come back to the second option. So women will get equal pay for equal pay as high as those of men in armed forces. Has it been mentioned in the passage? Yes or no? Yes or no? It has been mentioned in the passage. Just read the third part. I'll use a highlighter for you if you want. Even if armed forces, even if it acts under the ethos of institutional change towards occupational equality, they provide equal pay for equal work under the federal sanction. So does it mean, what does that mean? Now the second option is, we can agree that it is one of the options and it has also been discussed in the passage. Now let us keep it now. Don't let us not jump in and consider that this is going to be the right answer. Let us see the third option also. The attitude of armed forces towards occupational equality is condescending. What is the meaning of the word condescending, guys? Decreasing, treating inferiors is Jahan, okay? Looking down on someone. Okay, very good. So showing superiority or showing power. Okay. So now, has anything has it been discussed in this passage anywhere about how the armed forces showed superiority towards women entering into armed forces? I mean, anything like that? No. So what is the answer now? The answer should be 2 and the answer is 2. So from this you should also understand two things. One is from the passage they would clearly use certain words in the answer choice also. So you should not get carried away. Like when the same option is used and same words are used in the option, you will suddenly think that it has been discussed in the passage also, and you will choose that option. So pay attention to the option, read it once or twice, and then answer. Okay. Second thing is, even if you think something is going to be the right answer, do not click on the right option before referring back to the passage. You might be very clear. You might be very clear actually with the passage, with the content and all. But while you answer the answer, you will fail to read the other options, and then you might because of that you might miss few marks. Is it clear now? Neha, it is not, none of the answers in the GRE exam will be directly mentioned in the passage. In school, probably we would have a lot of questions like that. Okay, we'll just have questions and just we will get a lot of, answers from the passage itself. But it does not happen so in the GRE. It will be indirectly mentioned. You should be able to understand that. Okay, Jagan. Initially, it will be like it will be time consuming because you are very new to this technique. Okay, so when you make it a habit to read sentences, identify conjunctions, break them, and then extract the ideas, read the question and get back to the passage. So if you come to this flow, you will definitely save a lot of time. Arjun, in the passage they have not mentioned anything related to how the armed forces behaved, or how they what was their approach towards women entering into armed forces. Read the last sentence, Ajay. Okay, now shall we summarize whatever we have learned today? Okay, Krushmita, you say that you find it difficult to understand the passage. It might be because you are reading the entire passage again and again, trying to understand it. But you should, this technique which we discussed today will help you to eliminate the additional information or the very critical parts. Okay, which might seem very critical. Okay, so when you eliminate such parts and when you read, you will find it easier. Okay, now first what you should do in the GRE exam with respect to reading comprehension is first reading the question and coming back to the passage does not work much here, guys, because the questions are like that. Questions can be answered only if you read the entire passage. Okay, so first always read the passage and do these techniques. Count the number of sentences and all. Before even you proceed with answering the reading the passage, first see the number of questions that follow the passage. I'm telling this because you will have 30 minutes to answer the verbal section. Okay, so you cannot spend 5 or even 6 minutes for a passage that have just one question that follows. Okay, that is ideally that is like spending 6 minutes to answer one question, which is not advisable at all. So see how many questions follow the passage and plan your time on that passage accordingly. If you have 2 questions, then you can spend 3 minutes on the passage. Is it clear? So first read the passage, count the number of questions that follow. Calculate the amount of time that you should spend on that passage. Okay, so after doing this, if you have 3 minutes, you have to split the number of sentences and identify the number of conjunctions like I told you. Eliminate the additional information. Just write down the 5 or 6 ideas in your scrap paper. Then go to the question and then you can get back to the place. Like if you are not able to answer the question, one particular question, you need not read the entire passage again. You can just go to the idea. You'll know which paragraph conveys this idea. You can just read that paragraph and answer the question. Is it clear now? How many of this is definitely a very good technique, guys. When you practice, you will become even more friendly to this technique, and you will save a lot of time in your GRE. Abhilash and Manikanta are clear. Karanjit is also clear. Arjun is also clear. Very good. Okay. Now, how many of you would want more tips and techniques, more support like this for your GRE exam? How many of you feel that if I am given this, given such guidance or given some tips like this for all the sections in the GRE, I'll definitely reach a great score? Sure. Tarun, I'm going to tell you about the GREedge training process also. Like, how do we train students? What happens at GREedge is you will have personal trainers. Okay, as soon as you join, the first thing that is done is you are assigned with 2 personal trainers. Your personal trainers are experts at GREedge. They train students in GRE. They have successfully made lot of students, like more than 230 students have scored 170 in quant, and more than at least close to 200 students have scored 160 plus in their GRE verbal section. So they are experts. So your experts first ask you to take diagnostic tests. So this diagnostic test that you take, when you understand the results of the diagnostic test, it will clearly tell you where you stand, both to you and your expert. Based on your weaker areas, based on your performance, your personal trainer will first give you a study plan. Okay, how many days you have for the GRE exam? Are you working? If you're working, you'll be able to spend only just 1 or 2 hours per day. So those 1 or 2 hours, how should you spend per day? So based on all this, they'll be giving the study plan. All you have to do is, whenever you find time, you have to learn the lessons based on the study plan and take session-based tests after the lessons. And initially, I mean, whenever you find doubts, you'll definitely get it clarified, and yeah, you will definitely get tips. You can ask anything relating to your related to your GRE to your personal trainers. So they'll be monitoring your performance, and they'll tell you what all changes you have to do in order to reach your target score. How many of you have a high target score, and how many of you want to definitely reach it? Ravi wants it. Manan also. Manan wants to score 330 plus. Salman also. Salman wants 320. Yes, Rahul, you can definitely get it clear even in during weekends. Okay, there's one tool, one button on your learning tracker called Ask a Doubt and Insta Doubt. So these tools, buttons, if you just type your doubts in those under those buttons, you will get it immediately clarified, or on the even the next day. Okay, so to help you to reach your target score, apart from personal training, you also take style tests. So these style tests are exactly like your GRE exam. So when you take the GRE, you will definitely not feel very new or very nervous. I mean, you'll feel very comfortable with the nature of the test. Okay, so this will help you to reach your target score. Of GREedge, guys. So you can contact us on this email ID and mobile number whenever you want. We'll be happy to clarify all your doubts regarding your GRE and reach your target score successfully. Practice these tips regularly, and also your dream university. All the best. Thank you for joining us.